Welcome back to Savage Showdowns. This week we will be taking a break from the battle arena. This week we will be seeing if a pack of wolves could survive in the African savanna and where they would fall on the food chain. But first, if you like this content, please give it a like and consider subscribing. It's free and it really helps the channel out. Before we begin, I will preface this video by saying this video operates under the assumption that the wolves would be acclimatized to Africa and that their camouflage would work there. First up, let's look at the wolves' build. Size. Gray wolves can grow up to 6 feet long, with females weighing up to 100 pounds and males weighing up to 145 pounds. Strength. They have a bite force of 1200 psi or 593 newtons, which is the strongest bite force of any living canine. Speed. On open ground, these wolves can reach speeds of up to 37 miles per hour. They also exhibit incredibly high endurance at lower speeds. They use this to tire out prey in a chase before attacking in earnest. Stealth. Gray wolves are considered quite stealthy, able to sneak close to their prey, either getting a quick kill or spooking it into a chase hunt described earlier. Weapons and armor. For weapons, gray wolves have their bite force combined with large teeth, including 2.5-inch canines. They also have high social skills and teamwork, living in hunting in packs. These packs usually contain 6 to 7 wolves, though packs as large as 20 to 30 are not unheard of. The biggest pack on record was a super pack in Russia, which contained over 400 wolves. For our purposes, we will use a pack of 10 wolves and assume a slightly larger pack is formed in order to survive this strange environment. In terms of armor, wolves have dense skulls to protect them from the kicks of their prey items. This is coupled with a robust skeleton overall. They also have looser skin that limits damage from tearing when grabbed by other wolves or predators. Most importantly, they have safety in numbers. The biggest challenges the wolves will face will be the prey they can hunt and how they will stack up against other predators. These two factors will determine where they fall on the food chain. So, starting off, is there any prey the wolves can hunt in the African savanna? The short answer is yes. Meerkats, birds, small reptiles, and other rodents can all be found in Africa. Some of the snakes can be venomous and would be able to kill a wolf. However, wolves are intelligent and would either observe the warning signs and threat displays or quickly learn of the dangers of these snakes and avoid them as a result. So, at the very least, there is plenty of small game for the wolves to hunt, enough to sustain them, but likely not to sustain a pack, at least not without great difficulty. So what about larger animals? Ostrich, zebra, gazelle, wildebeest, giraffes, elephants, and rhinos, among others. The short answer is that many of these animals would be potential prey items for wolves. Ostrich and gazelle are both smaller than typical wolf prey, but still a reasonably sized meal. Gazelle can run faster than wolves, but with the right pack tactics, they could still likely be caught, as could an ostrich. Wildebeest and zebra are both larger, and due to body plan, would be very similar to how wolves presently hunt elk. Elephants and rhinos would be too large for a pack of 10 wolves to hunt as adults. However, their babies could potentially be prey options in desperate times. Giraffes would be interesting, as their structure and weight would pose a challenge to a wolf pack, but not an insurmountable one. It is likely wolves could figure out a way to effectively hunt giraffes despite these challenges, like they have with large bison in North America. So the answer to the first major question is yes. Wolves would be able to find plenty of food in Africa and kill it, enough for the pack to be sustained and thrive. The second question is how would they compare to other predators such as lions, hyenas, wild dogs, crocodiles, and leopards? We will start in reverse order with the leopard. Wolves are used to dealing with another solo big cat, the mountain lion or the cougar, in their native ranges of North America. These cats are usually larger than leopards, although it varies by location and individual. With that in mind, I don't see leopards posing any major threat to a pack of 10 wolves, except maybe to new puppies should the pack reach that point. A crocodile, however, is a different story. There is no comparable predator in a wolf's native range, and while they might learn to be wary of and avoid croc attacks, they will likely be unable to kill or escape one should it grab them. That said, this really isn't a point against the wolves, as most African creatures are in the same boat, with only the very largest being totally safe from crocodiles. What about African wild dogs? The African wild dogs are highly social canines that live in groups of 7 to 15 individuals usually. However, packs as large as 40 have been observed, and in recent history, before population decline, packs of up to 100 had been observed. African wild dogs are smaller than wolves, weighing somewhere between 40 and 79 pounds. As such, these smaller, typically more timid pack predators would likely pose little threats to the wolves and would flee from them, especially since larger packs have become less common. That said, a pack of 40 wild dogs might be able to effectively chase off our pack of 10 wolves, assuming times weren't desperate enough for a fight to break out. Now, for what I predict are the biggest challenges, hyenas and lions. First, hyenas. Spotted hyenas, which are the largest species of hyena in Africa, can weigh anywhere from 90 to 190 pounds, though a maximum size of 50 to 170 is much more common. Hyenas exhibit an incredible bite force of 4,500 newtons or 1,011 psi. Hyenas live in social groups called clans that can range from 8 to 130 individuals. However, groups exceeding 80 are not particularly common, and these larger groups typically break off into smaller hunting parties of anywhere from 1 to 20 individuals, depending on the prey they are going after. With all this in mind, our pack of 10 wolves is in trouble. While they might be able to stand up to a small hunting party of somewhere around 8 hyenas, they have no chance against the entirety of a large clan. That said, wolves are again smart enough to realize this and will likely avoid large groups of hyenas. And finally, the king of the jungle, lions. Lions live in groups called prides that usually contain one or maybe a few dominant males, which can weigh up to 550 pounds, though individuals this large are rare. Hunting is primarily done by female lions or lionesses, which can weigh up to 400 pounds, but again, individuals this large are rare. Lion prides consist of up to 40 individuals, including a few males, numerous females, and their babies. Even though not all prides are this big, the wolves will face a similar issue as they did with the hyenas. They are facing a larger opponent with higher numbers than themselves. However, in this case, there is a less exaggerated number difference, but the weight difference is more exaggerated as compared to the hyena clan. Therefore, the wolves will likely avoid prides of lions, only occasionally attacking a lone lion or a small hunting group that gets too close to them or their puppies. So now that we know what the wolves are able to find and hunt a variety of prey, including big game, as well as how they stack up against other predators, we need to answer the question of where they will lie on Africa's food chain. Based on all the information provided, I think it is reasonable to assume a pack of 10 wolves would be high, but not necessarily an apex predator species. They would likely rank above the wild dogs, but fall below lions and hyenas. This will vary slightly depending on the group's sizes of the other species, but as a rule of thumb, I think it is fair to say. The wolves would be able to successfully hunt prey and effectively defend their young. However, they will likely be forced to give up their kill to the larger predators and hunt again, as is a common issue also for African wild dogs. With that said, the wolves are very smart and adaptable creatures. It isn't unlikely that they wouldn't form a larger pack in order to improve their survival odds. If they formed a pack of 40 or more individuals, they might find themselves able to stand up to a reasonably sized group of apex predators. If they got a group of up to 100 wolves and formed a new giant pack, or even 400 and formed a new super pack, they could potentially and likely would be the dominant predatory force in their area. In addition, I have a few thoughts regarding cheetahs. First, cheetahs would pose almost no threats to wolves, but they would be able to effectively avoid them as they are the fastest land animal alive today. However, in zoos, cheetahs have been known to form bonds with dogs and even come up to safari guides and photographers. It is incredibly unlikely, but I believe there is a slight possibility for a mixed pack of cheetahs and wolves to form, as cheetahs have been known to form groups composed of a band of brothers. Again, this is incredibly unlikely, and I don't have it seeing any effect one way or the other on where the wolves will stand in the African food chain. Just an interesting thought I had. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Feel free to suggest any future fights or other videos. Let me know what you thought of this video. I know it's different than my usual content. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next Savage Showdown.